Hey everybody, welcome back to GallupBuilt. Thank you for stopping by and checking out this video. In this video, I'm going to be working on the heater controls in this 66 right here. And I'm working on the wiring and lighting on the 64 El Camino after I get it running. Thank you for checking out this video. Hope y'all enjoy it. So I dropped the little dudes off at school, all of them, and I am now at the shop. So I'm going to get started on today's work. I'm guessing it's going to be the Mustang because this is what I was working on Friday when I took off. And I was here on Sunday working on Mama Bear's car. And then yesterday I was taking care of what I was supposed to do on Sunday and Saturday. So today I am back and I'm going to finish what I was doing. I have to put in those heater controls right there, in there. And then I have to hook up all the cables to it. I'm also going to get the wiring taken care of that is in here. This looks like this is for the fog light. But the ones that go through here, I got to make sure are correct and situated right. So we just put a new dome light in, so that wire is right there. I've got to run the connector, the extension wire from there through here, and then up in here to for the dome light, which would be right in here on the side right here. And then these, okay, those were changed already. And let's see, I've got a few things to do. These rollers are coming in for the window, that little blue one right there, and the same ones for this window on this side. While those are coming in, we're also waiting on that little clip for the door latch. The door latch is still right here. So I'll probably start with a cleanup real quick. It'll make it a little bit easier to work on this today. So I got the Mustang in the air and I started changing out the park neutral switch. Before, it was just bypass so we could move it around the shop. So now it is safe and good to go. Cool. So with everything hooked up the way it was supposed to be hooked up originally, the park neutral switch is working just fine now. I was working on the switches or the knobs and stuff for the heater controls. They're right there. That's the new one. That's the old one. And I was going to put it in here. I've got a bunch of these little cables that run to the controls on the dash. This is the side that runs to the controls. This is the side that is in the dash, and they go to different things. One is for the blend door for hot and cold, and one is for the vent for turning it up, like opening it and closing it. And this one right here is for the defrost. So there's a little flap that sits down in here that'll send the air upward into those two tubes right there. And they'll run through these tubes. And they come out right here beside the speaker in the dash. Problem is, here's the door for the defrost. And it sits inside that. And this whole box is busted. This whole piece right here is broken. So I think one needs to be ordered. And then I gotta probably drop that and then redo the whole thing and then reinstall it. I met Mama Bear for lunch. She brought me a big burger from Carl's Jr. Heading back to the shop now. I was moving this one, and that's usually the go-to. All right, it's been a bit since I've been back in this one. I'm gonna try to start it right now. The battery's completely dead, so I doubt it'll start, but we can try. Oh yeah, it did. It's got to charge up a bit, but I moved everything out of the way inside, so there's room for it. I tried starting the El Camino, but it won't let me start it. It's trying to recondition the battery. Looks like it's a brand new battery. I hooked up the Jeep to it, so I guess let me see if it'll turn this motor. Nice. Awesome. Whoa. Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna head in and I'm gonna head to the shop for a few hours. I gotta get that El Camino inside and I gotta work on that for a bit. Waiting for the train right now. All right, we got wiring today. I've got this new loom plugged in. I'm gonna spread it all out and share to live. I'm gonna run all this to every piece it needs to go to in the engine. And then this one we can't find anywhere. I'm gonna have to actually rewire all these. Luckily I labeled them because these have to be rewired to here, here, and everywhere. So this new loom that I put in is right here, and a lot of it is run around the back there. This one goes to the windshield wiper motor, which is right there. It actually plugs into this cable right here that I gotta figure out because the ends are exactly the same. And the rest of it runs over the back of there. So I've got this connected to the ignition. And then I got the oil pressure sending unit connected down here, which is way under there. And I've got it running to that side to the blower motor for the heater. And I've got the wires going down for the starter solenoid. Now I've got this wire loom right here. This one is the one that we can't find anywhere on the internet. So we've been working on it here and there. Some work is done to that one. And I figured out all the wiring, where it goes and what needs to happen. So I need to extend the rest of this wiring all through here. For the low beams, the high beams, the turn signals, the marker lights, and the horn, blower motor, everything else. I'm running wire looming in the front for the engine and all the lighting forward of the firewall, and there's no power to the lights. So I removed the dash. I would say real quick, but it's not real quick on these. I removed the dash just enough to get access to the light switch. I had to use two picks to loosen the front of this bezel, and now the light switch is right here. Light switch looks okay, so I'm going to start testing power from here and go from here backward to the fuse panel. And when I was back here digging around, this looks like the speedometer. And we got a couple wires unhooked right here too. Whoa. Looks like we got a few things to do under here, you guys. All right, let's see if I've got power to this now. Awesome. We have power to this, guys. Now let me find this knob. Ground, power. Something's up with these lights, they still ain't coming on. So I was fishing for some wiring. I was checking this loom. I've uncovered a lot of it just so I have access to what is going on with this wiring. And right here, it goes to the headlight. This is the high beam. And one wire, the one on this side, which would be the black wire with the green stripe on it, this one, that's for the high beam. The tan one is for the low beam. There's a black one that comes out of here. One goes there, and it also grounds that light. That ground comes out of here, and it wasn't connected to anything. So I grounded this one wire right here, and now the headlights are on. Let me see if the brights work. Nice. Something's up with that one. Cool. Just some bad wiring, cleaned the connections, and now all the headlights are working. Now I gotta move to the signal lights, and I gotta still wire in all of this. I've got a lot of wires hanging out right here. So I'm back at the shop and I'm working on this again. Right now, I've made my way to this corner light right here. This corner light was not on when I was turning the lights on. I got them all to work. This one was shorting everything out. And it was glowing orange in there, but it was glowing orange in a bad way. So this was pulled out and it was pretty busted up. We couldn't really order a new one right away. So my bro Kyle put this one back together with the epoxy while I was working on the stuff, and it actually looks pretty good. It looks sturdy enough to put back in here. So I'm gonna load this back up and wire it up right now. The new headlight switch was here too when I got here, so I'm gonna put this in right now. All right. So I cleaned up the wiring a little bit, got it all settled. And I found out what that extra wire was for. It was for the fuel gauge sending unit. All right, I've got all the lighting done and I started working on this alternator wiring right here. This was converted from first gen to a third gen alternator, and these wires are not going where they're supposed to go. So these two pieces of tape right here tell me where they need to go. One of them needs to connect with this wire, which comes out of the gauge light for the generator. And they normally go through a voltage regulator here on the wall, but we're going to bypass that and hook it up straight to the horn relay junction box. The voltage is internally regulated in this newer alternator, so it doesn't need the external one. And that's why we route the wiring different spots. One will go to the gauges and one will go to probably the ignition, which will turn the stator on to start charging the battery. But right now, it is 5 o'clock. All right, I made it back to the shop and I'm gonna finish up the wiring on this. Yesterday when I took off, I would start this, but as soon as I unhooked the battery, it would shut off. So I gotta make sure the alternator is actually charging the battery and running the system after it starts. Nice. The alternator is charging and running the system. I'm gonna go take it for a test drive. I gotta load this thing on the trailer. Good. How far? That's good? Okay, it's good. I'm gonna move on to this one a bit, which is this one. I've got the door latch back in here, and I've got everything in here. You can't really see it right now. Okay. I've got everything situated in here. Up there too. And now I gotta see if it works. Nice. Opens. Nice. Okay. So the door latch is good. All right, everybody. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you again for stopping by and checking it out. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all have an awesome rest of your day, and be careful whatever you're working on. Later.